Okay.
Lost them again.
I hear you, Bunny.
Well, if they can hear me or not.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear us, Bunny?
I can hear you off and on, and I just lost the picture.
Okay, well, we can hear you.
Okay, I'll try to do
Okay.
my best to listen and join in.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so we're going to call the meeting to order. And I think since almost everybody's Zoom, let's go ahead and skip the Pledge of Allegiance. It's kind of hard to get everybody together with the time delay when we're all Zooming. So let's move on to items from the public. And I believe Don Corcoran had something to say.
Wait, Mayor, we have one person before him. Lauren Bergeson's here.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So
go
he's-
ahead.
My name's Lauren Bergeson. I live at 224 Central Avenue in South Bend. And I'm here to discuss my neighbor's messy yard. He has a tow truck company and he hauls vehicles all over this town. And the good ones he brings into his yard and drops them. And Saturday, he dropped one off in the alley again. So he's starting to dump them in the alley again. And from a year ago, we stopped him from butchering vehicles. And he just needs to be cleaned up. He's got a ditch that hasn't been cleaned since I've been there. That the city needs to clean up, and there's no access to it. And there's bamboo growing over the alleyway from the ditch. And the ditch is just full of garbage. And so is his yard. I have pictures.
Where is this exactly?
His address is 410 Central Avenue. Mine is 4.
Okay, thank you. I know the chief and his department are looking into it.
Well,
So let's move on to Don Corcoran.
Thanks for letting me get in on this. My question is, would the city allow the old fire truck to be housed in the same park with the steam donkey?
We'd have to look into it. I don't know. What type are you thinking about, a building there or?
I don't know if anybody's been up to McClary lately, but they have a Loki and another apparatus enclosed with a cyclone fence, a roof, and that's what I had in mind for right there. There wouldn't be any solid walls or anything, just a good roof and maybe 4 nice posts to hold the roof up and that sort of thing. But before I go into trying to figure all that out, I just wanted to know if it would be possible to, I'll meet with anybody down there and I know there's a sewer line through there that can't be covered, but there is room. In fact, I put 4 stakes in the ground that are away from that sewer line. I'm sure that the truck would fit in, or the building or the coverage or whatever you want to call it would fit in. But before I put a lot of effort into figuring that out, I just want to know if the city would allow that.
I don't have any issue with that.
Yeah, I don't either. Counselor Manlow.
Hey, Don, I mean, that thing's probably not real durable as far as all the wood on it and everything. I mean, how long do you think it would last out in the elements like that and stay reasonably looking?
I think it'd probably outlast you and me. It's heavy, it's metal, it's heavy metal. There's not a lot of wood.
Well, okay. I'm just thinking the ladders, the seats, the tires, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Okay, there is the ladders, but if you want to get rid of the ladders, I know we're an outfit that's got a truck just like it. Love to have the ladders. But I wouldn't.
And
get
how
them
much do you
from-
think something like that would cost?
Well, that's where I'm, before I go putting effort into that, I want to know whether it would even be possible. And we'll go, then go from there, you know.
Just looking for space available for it to be there. And then we can go and get quotes on fencing and roofs and that sort of thing.
It works for me.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, it sure would be visible from the highway in either direction. And it's, nobody gets to see it up at my place except me and Patricia. And she's tired of looking at it.
No.
She's not, but every time I run it somewhere, which I had it in the Raymond Parade last weekend, come home with it and I got a problem. So it needs to be put somewhere and just left there. Maybe you could figure out a way to run it once a year in our parade or something, but taking it anywhere else, I think it's too far, too old for that. Like, just like me, I'm too old for most everything, so. But
All right.
anyway, that's my question. I just want to know if I should proceed or meet with Dennis or whoever's in charge of parks and lay something out and see what we think.
Now, we can hook up and do that. If the council's good with it, I'm good with it. So, yeah, just let me know a time.
I got all kinds of time.
All right, I think everyone's all right with it. If not, anyone on the council object? All right, I'd say go for it. Meet with Dennis and get some things figured out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. All right, so let's move on. Is there anything else from the public, I guess I should say, before we move on? Okay, item 4, approval of the agenda, the consent agenda, and the minutes from July 25th, 2022. I would entertain a motion. Patricia moves. Is there a second? Jan seconds. All right, is there any discussion? All those in favor? I see 3 in favor. Bunny must not be able to be heard. Okay. Is there any correspondence though?
No.
All right. So let's move on to item 6, the Fetter property purchase. And this is property that the city is looking to purchase that is up by the rock pit. It's 4 lots that are fairly adjacent to property we already own. And so I would like Dennis to kind of give a little information. He went up and looked at the property and kind of what you found and why you think it's a good deal.
Yeah, so Land Fetters, who's the property owner, proposed this sale to the city. We talked a little bit prior about it and thought it was a good idea to go ahead and move forward on it. So there is a little bit of marketable timber on there. It's on a ridge line. There were 4 lots, about 0.56 acres, about 24,000 roughly square feet. I kind of looked at some comparables as far as just the marketable land. And in South Bend, there's a lot on B Street that they're asking $35,000 for. That's about 18,000 square feet, so a lot less. There's another one on Rixon Road. They're asking $37,000 for, and it's 15,000 square feet. And then there's another one on First Street on the Big Ridge in town here, and it's only 6,000 square feet, and they're asking $25K for that. So I think, in all actuality, we could make money on the deal if we ever decided to get rid of it. You could build on it. It's in the county. I think it would benefit us if we were gonna log our property there we could probably log that as well. It's right there. There's looks like an easement, a right of way through there, which we would own both sides of it. The only problem I see is there is some, a couple lots that separate the two, I guess, if you're looking at the picture there. I don't know, I think it's a good idea. Times are a little different now than when we first discussed it, but I think that we could still, it'd still be a good investment in my eyes.
So I would entertain a motion to approve the purchase.
Can we have some more discussion about it?
Yeah, we can. Generally, we discuss it after we make the motion, but if you'd like to switch that up, that's
Motion.
fine.
You were gonna motion to approve it, though, the purchase,
That's-
and then we're
yeah,
gonna discuss it?
Sure. Yeah, if you'd like to, we can discuss it first if you'd rather, though. That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just have some reservations about, I guess, timing wise too, after our last meeting, when we're kind of in a bind with potentially losing a bunch of employees right now, and we're trying to come up with some funds to get them to hold on and stay. And I just don't know that throwing $10,000 at this property that we really don't have a purpose for right now. I'm not seeing where that would be a really good move for us right now. And it is split up. I don't know if our intention would be to sell that as a building site, but then wouldn't it be better off for the landowner to put it on to, to sell themselves if it was a building site? I'm just not real in favor of purchasing property right now that we don't really need.
Okay. Does anyone else from the council like to say anything right now?
How much timber's on there?
I didn't do a walkthrough and measure out all the timber. As you can see by the picture, there's some marketable timber on there. I'm not sure how much though. Yeah, I'm not a timber scaler or anything like that.
Okay. So, Bunny, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can now. I can now.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Keep losing the picture.
Yeah, that's all right. As long as we can be heard and you can be heard, that's great. So, I guess I would entertain a motion to approve the property purchase. If anyone would choose to make that. Patricia moves to approve. Is there a second? Jan seconds. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? I see 2 in favor. Bunny, do you have a vote? Bunny, can we hear you? Looks like we lost him again. So, all those against? Darren is against. So right now we have 2 in favor and we have 1 against. Bunny, can you hear us? Are you there? I think he has lost his signal. So
Yep.
3 is a quorum. So we'll go ahead and approve the purchase.
Can we wait and see if Bunny comes on in a little bit? Or is that out of order?
It kind of is out of order. At this point, we're 2-1. And Bunny, are you there again? He turned green on my screen. Quite honestly, that is action. 2-1 is action. It is a quorum. So we have approved the purchase then at this point. So we'll move on then to item number 7. the intergovernmental cooperative agreement with Pacific County. And this is action as well. So Dennis, do you want to explain what this is about?
Yeah, sure. So this is just a interlocal agreement between the city of South Bend and the county. It was brought to my attention that the county was doing a bunch of work up on Eklund Park this summer, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to get up there as well and get some chip sealing done. That was their project, to chip seal all of Eklund Park. There's been some issues. We've had some complaints on the roadway between the county line and city limits all the way down to 101. So I got in touch with the director of public works over there, and she was on board with us as long as we had our interlocal agreement up to snuff. And come to find out, it has expired. So that's where we're at now. There's about, I think, 1,100 lineal feet between Prospect and Summit Street that we were looking at chip sealing. I was going to use some SDP monies that we received from the county to go ahead and do that with. But anyhow, that got pushed back, and this is the interlocal agreement between the county and the city. They've already, the commissioners have already signed off on it, and it's just up to you guys on your guys' table.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to approve the intergovernmental cooperative agreement between Pacific County and South Bend. I saw Darren's hand first, so Darren moves, and then I saw Patricia will second. So is there any discussion from the council? All those in favor? See 3 in favor. Bunny can, oh, Bunny's gone. Okay. We lost him. All right, so that is approved. So now we're going to move on to the South Bend Library Capital Improvement Contract. And what this is the Friends of the Library have applied to the Department of Commerce for a major grant to upgrade the front steps and entrance into the library and do some foundation type work. And I applied for $40,000 of 0.09 monies, which is a type of grant funding for part of the matching funds. And that was approved. So what this is authorization from the council to accept the money, that $40,000, so that if the Friends of the Library received their Department of Commerce grant, then this $40,000 can be used as matching funds for that grant. So that's what this is about. So I would entertain a motion to approve the South Bend Library Capital Improvement Contract. Patricia moves with both hands and Jan seconds. Is there any discussion?
If they don't get that grant, what happens to the money then?
It just goes back.
Just goes back. Okay.
Yeah. That's my understanding at any rate. I think they could maybe apply one more time and we might still be able to receive that $40,000 in the next cycle, but it will eventually time out and go back. So any further discussion? All those in favor? 3 in favor. All right, that is passed. So now let's move on to fireworks discussion. And this is just discussion tonight. If something is decided that we want Zoe to have drawn up, that would be presented at the next meeting for the public to weigh in on and for council to decide upon. So I'm opening it up to the council if anyone would like to begin the discussion. Yes, Patricia.
Like to see a complete ban on all fireworks except for the ones that are sanctioned by a group, like at the boat launch or somewhere else. Maybe at a school field, but an absolute ban on the sales, distribution, and use of fireworks by the general public. They don't know how to use them.
Okay, anyone else? Yeah, Jan.
My concern is our lack of being able to enforce what we put down. And so I mean, I think gone are the days of the sparklers and the fountains and the families in the backyard. What we have now are people that are repeat offenders, from what I can see from my home and here, that continue to blow off mini bombs. And I just don't see any reason for it. And there's too many negative things. People's animals suffer, children, little kids suffer. We're lucky we haven't had a fire, and as things get drier and drier every year, I just think we're, just waiting for something to happen. And, I'd like to see it move to the boat launch, not down by the school, because there's, too many people that live down there, and they're illegal. The ones that they're using are illegal in the state of Washington. As we sit by and listen to them and complain about it every year. And, there is evidently there's not anything we can do about it. So it's just a bad situation. And the reason I kind of wanted to have the discussion is to find out what we can do. If the chief has any ideas, deputize the fire department, but it's worse every year. And this year it was particularly bad in my neck of the woods, and down by the post office and down by the trailer court, and that whole area was just like a war zone. And for no reason. If people want to do that, can't they go to the rock pit or somewhere where they can't hurt anybody or disturb anybody? That's it.
Okay, Darren.
Well, I think there are still plenty of families in town that enjoy fireworks as a family. And we had the Helping Hands, I'm trying to think of her name, from the pharmacy come and talk. They had a record year for sales last year, I believe. I think this year was down a little bit. But there are plenty of families still enjoying fireworks as a family get together. Now, I think it's a shame that maybe there's a few people that are ruining it for the majority. And that's sad. But I live on Central Street. I mean, on Pacific Street. And so I'm down here in the middle of all that. And, I raised my kids. We enjoyed fireworks a lot. When they got older, we quit doing it. We owned a dog, though, for 13 years that was terrified of fireworks. Terrified. I mean, horrified. But there was not a point where I felt that because of my dog, I should impose it on the rest of the community that they can't have fireworks. I don't feel right doing that for the minority to impose on the majority like that. That's the way I see it. And I just, it's 2 days. We have the most restrictive rules in Pacific County right now. We have a mayor that can at any time now say if fireworks are done, it's too dry. We have that rule on the books. I think we're sitting pretty good as far as restrictions compared to most of the other communities here. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I just feel that we need to find out how we can enforce these repeat offenders year after year after year, just blowing off hundreds of dollars worth of booms, for no reason, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know, maybe they get a thrill out of the big boom, but you know, to me, it's more about the enforcement, what we can do to actually, you know, fine them. And so it hurts and they don't do it anymore. They go out in the woods and do it, or, you know, out on their boat or wherever they want to do it. But when you're in a neighborhood, you know, and we're, you know, mostly retired people around here. Anyway,
Patricia, I saw your hand go up.
I wish, Darren, that it was a small group of people, but I think that group of people is growing every year. And I just would like to see it stop. Not, my animals up here, it doesn't seem to bother, but I have had animals before where they just literally, they just shiver and shake out of absolute fear, and they hide in the bottom of closets, and it just takes them a long time to get over it. And I think we heard about a couple who even had to leave town with their animals and come back at 1 o'clock in the morning after all this to-do was over. And that's not right. It's not right. I'm just for just banning them all.
and the chief, do you have anything to say, of any ideas, or, you know,
Well,
can we work?
I can say personally, I am one of those people as well that I had a 130-pound Bernese Mountain Dog that was deathly afraid of fireworks. And every year around the 4th of July, my wife and I did what we needed to do. And, you know, we got our dog medicated, and my wife was out driving around until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning one night with our dog. But that's what we did. And, you know, we did that so that everybody else can enjoy the fireworks. We dealt with our animal. And I feel for the people that have animals that, you know, they can't handle it. I personally have that experience, but at no point do I want to impose and try and take that away from everybody else in the community.
I appreciate that, but I was asking more about what we can do to enforce the rule that we have.
As far as, you know, the illegal fireworks, it's tough. I know that this year I spent some time down at a friend's house. I stopped by. They were lighting fireworks off. They bought all of their fireworks from the stand right down here at Pioneer Grocery from Helping Hands. They're legal fireworks, and there were mortars in there that got let off. And I can tell you from being right there, I did not see any difference in those mortars and the big boom than some of the rest throughout town. The other thing that, you know, we have to remember too is we have a lot of our city that borders the county, and we can do what we want in the city, but some of our addresses in the city are right across the street from a county address. And that person that lives in the county may be letting off, you know, half a stick of dynamite, and there's nothing that we could do about it. But as far as catching somebody letting off illegal fireworks, if we catch them and we know that they're illegal fireworks, we will absolutely take them, seize them, and write them a ticket for it. But we can't just go onto people's property to go inspect their fireworks without a search warrant. And, you know, that stuff takes time. And on the 4th of July weekend, we don't have a lot of time to be sitting in our cars writing search warrants to go collect fireworks. But if they're out in the street, you know, we can definitely inspect them. But it's a tough one, the enforcement. I will say that as far as the lighting them off, the 2 days that we allow, I think it has gotten a little bit better over the last couple of years, because we hammer down on the days before and the days after. And, you know, that, I hate to say it, but that's the best I can do right now, you know, without actually catching these people in a public place, lighting something off that is easily identifiable for us as an illegal firework. We'll address that, but people are smart. They know how to, you know, they know how to get away with stuff.
All right, does anyone else have anything else to add to the discussion? Okay, let's move on to department head reports. Police Chief Stiegel.
I have nothing tonight.
Okay, Supervisor Hauk.
Excuse me. I just have a little update on the docks project. Quigs pulled out for a little bit. They took their tug and crane down to Bay Center to assist with the removal of the RV Hero, that derelict boat down there. Once they're done with that, they'll be back up to finish up the job here. There's a little bit of work to be completed. They have to cut off the piling tops to the desired elevation, reinstall some pile caps, install electrical pedestals, connect shore power, a little bit of water. I guess a lot of water, the water system that goes down through there. And connect a new float to the existing floats that are on either end. And then after that point, well, yeah, that's about it. Sorry.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, Clerk Treasurer Soa.
Nothing for me.
Okay, I don't have anything either. So let's move on to item 12, public comments. Is there anyone that'd like to comment from the public on our current agenda items tonight? That would be the property purchase, the agreement with Pacific County, the library contract, or the fireworks discussion. Yes, Craig Spreaderman.
Yeah, I can understand everybody dismissing pets ownership and the concern they have with the pets, but just to be clear, that's not the only concern. You also have to take into consideration people, PTSD. I don't even want to speak for who is being disturbed as far as human beings. So if you can give me a number of how many people need to be disturbed before you're willing to take action on it, that's one thing. The other thing that you're dealing with here is I'm a little concerned that our police chief doesn't seem to hear a difference between what's legal firework mortars and 3 and 4 inch mortars that are the illegal ones. There's a distinct difference between some of the professional level fireworks being used out there and or the safe and sane style being sold. But the concern is the level of professional level fireworks in the hands of unskilled people and the danger that it poses to the community. Not because it's going to irritate the dogs, not because it's going to, but because people need to medicate their pets to deal with it, because you stand a significant risk of burning down a significant part of your city. So please don't distract the conversation of what fireworks concern is by just trying to focus on one part of it, that being the pet concern. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on to council comments. Councilor Manlow.
I don't think I have anything.
Councilor Davis.
Thank you for the report, monthly update, Chief. I can see you guys are busy, getting busier. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'd love to see the fire engine down at the little park there. I think that'd be great. People would be interested in seeing that. That's it.
Councilor Corcoran.
Thanks to Craig for his comments. I appreciate that. Thanks to Lucas for his report. And the other two things that I wanted to talk about were addressed. So I'm good. Thank you.
Well, thanks everybody for attending tonight. And we will, oh wait, sorry. Are there any future agenda topics? I almost missed one. I don't see any hands, so. All right, so at this point, I will say thank you for attending and we will stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please,
Good
bye.
night.